get started. January 27th. So today, very small group, but that's okay because we know it's for a good cause. And so as opening prayer, let's keep Hyacinth and everybody from this group in our mind right now. Elevate our thoughts. Try to balance, get some calm inner thoughts, and invite our mentors, the mentors of this group, our spiritual mentors, our source in the spiritual realm. We celebrate your presence with us here and now. Let us be guided by unconditional love and be of service for the highest good. We thank you for the abundance, and please forgive our mistakes as we forgive those who cause us difficulties. Help us to fulfill our purpose, uphold our values, and be understanding and compassionate. We ask for your guide and protection for our lives and the life of our family members and friends, especially today. Lord, we ask protection and healing energy to Hyacinth, to Lori, and protection for the members of this group who are not here with us today, but certainly they keep you in their hearts. Set your way before us, dear Jesus. We make a difference in this world for your glory and purpose with all our love. And so be it. So just the four of us, but anyway, Happy New Year. I would like to, this is still January. I would like to talk about this because one thing that I would like to remind us is we are in the regeneration stage. So we already step in the regeneration world. It is like whenever we have a jar full of water and silt settle in the bottom. So if we just take that jar, we'll see for a moment a lot of turbulence, suspended solids, and the water will not be clear. But that will be a moment because, like everything else in the universe, we know that everything will follow what we call in the engineering language entropy laws. But that is because we know the silt will settle because of gravity. But in our lives, in the whole planet life, it is like following this entropy law, saying that everything in the whole tend to stage, lower energy stage. So eventually that silt from that jar will settle and then the water will be clear again. So when by the end of the year, I was talking to leaders of spirit centers here in US and in Brazil. Some other folks like Louise, who knows a lot about other things like astrology, for example. And it caught my attention that they were very consistent, that they were speaking about the new year, 2024. But when I was talking to I saw they were very consistent in saying one thing. This year is a year when the justice will be made. I mean, there will be a lot of energy around us, and whatever we do, justice will be there. Now, is this good? Is this bad? Not good, not bad. It's just saying that whatever we do, we're facing the outcome of our own doing. Meaning, if we planted good seeds last year or in the past, our harvest will be good, right? If we didn't plant anything, just as it is, we'll not harvest anything. But if our seeds were not good, then we'll face the consequences. So that's why I thought that this picture over here was very nice. It's a Bible, and probably Hyacinth know very well. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, the plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So even if we face not so good times, but like that's exactly the type of the message I sent to Lori, that she is struggling right now with her, etc., etc. And I was saying, I'm so sorry, but people like you knows better and are so connected to the higher beings, light, etc., etc. So take this advantage and build upon this experience, learning what this experience has to teach you, and perhaps, how can I say, leaving this experience, but even more knowledgeable, feeling more knowledgeable and perhaps tolerant, or I don't know, patient. But for sure, everybody they were talking about 2024 as the year of this. Something is coming. We shall see. So hopefully we all had good seeds last year, right? And then we'll harvest and nice stuff in 2024.
I have a quick example.
Yes.
The last 2 years, the director of the CASA program, where I was the president of the board, we worked so hard. We worked. I mean, we just did everything we could, and we were getting so, I don't know, worn down because we just weren't seeing growth. And in the month of December, we got a $10,000 check from United Way. We got a $15,000 check from the casino, and we got a $25,000 check from Louisiana Charity.
Wow.
And so it was like the culmination of 2 years of work of trying to raise funds for that program. And it all came in at once, and we didn't know that it was coming in, but we kept working, we kept planting the seeds, and we got it in December, and everybody's so happy and excited because that's our seed money for a building fund. And so we've got a nice start on our building fund. But it was a great reminder of, it was in divine order and divine timing. We were putting in the work, and it came to fruition. And it was just I just let it in. Just let it in.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's a wonderful, wonderful story. It is a very nice example. I guess that's exactly what all those leaders of the spirit and everybody that I talked to, some of the mediums too, they were talking about it. I think it's exactly, hard work will be compensated. But not just hard work, it's hard work with the heart, in there,
Yeah, we weren't doing it for us. We were doing it for the abused and neglected children. So it's really a good cause.
Yeah. So as we continue, something that I'd like to talk about as well is the agenda for 2024. I'm working, we will continue with the book discussion for Missionaries of the Lights, series from André Luiz, and the Spirits book. But I did I'm talking to speakers, and the first one that will be talking to us is Elio Giovanni, and Giles will remember him because he was with us in our meeting, in our gathering in Pedro Leopoldo. He speaks English very well, and he did a great lecture to us. Very energetic, very, full vibration type of person. He is preparing something for us. What the title of the lecture will be, but for sure he will be the first one, and probably sometime late February he will be talking to us. Something that is happening as well, I do not know if you all remember, but Dufo Editora is the publishing company Ia is the head of. And she has been, I know this is still January, she has been in a couple of events, just promoting all those spiritist books, spiritualistic books, and books from Dufo Editora. So those events happened. One of them was like last Saturday. The other one was at the very beginning of the year. Oh, by the way, and Dufo, actually the last name of this lady, her name is Hermance Dufo, and she was, I do not recall when, but she was a French lady, very nice. Some people say, and I believe that might be true, she is probably one of the past life for Freud, Sigmund Freud. Her books, they are not so easy to understand. They are all about self-knowledge. They are all about how to understand your feelings, how to balance your mind and feelings, how to reach out to, equilibrium, that kind of things. And more like the psychology thing, and not so easy to read, but certainly very enjoyable. And when I say not so easy, is because you read and then you have to stop for a while to think about it. Okay, what is really this doing to me? You can understand what you're reading, but evidently, as you just don't read the book, you read it and see if there is any teaching to you, right? So, books, by the way.
Question. Are any of these channeled?
No,
Okay.
because those are in well, they are, but they are all in Portuguese. Now, there is one volunteer here in US.
No, I meant, are these messages from Spirit to guide us?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that was my
yes.
question, because I'm in the book group with August Goforth, and the point he makes is that Spirit intended for us to hold the book and to read every word, because they're working on us on a level that we're not consciously aware of. And that's what I'm asking about these books, because it sounds like it's a treatment.
It is.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
I totally agree with him, And that's what I'm saying. It's not so easy because you have to read it, and then in order for you to internalize, okay, so what is this telling me to my heart? Then you have to think about.
Are they in English?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I misunderstood Gloria's question. Now there is one volunteer here in US, and this person is translating some of the books into English. Some of them they are in Spanish, but not English yet.
And what is this lady's first name?
Hermos.
Could you spell it, please?
I will put in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Hermos. Okay, so Hermos. Like that.
E-N-C-E.
Yeah. So she's a very known spirit in Brazil. And as we continue, as we just talk about it, I put the wrong, not 7 to 10, this 10 to 14th. I yeah, forgot about what I said over here, but anyway, Sonia will be there in New Orleans, and Scott Milligan and Dominic, they will be facilitating this event, Touching Eternity. I'm looking forward to. And as a reminder, the movie about City 2 or Nosso Lar 2 has been launched in Brazil on January 25th. Today is probably the day when most of folks who work, they go into the cinemas. On the January 25th, it was a solid success. That, all the movie theaters, they were packed, absolutely packed. And they say it has been the most, I do not know how to say, but the most when they track on the audience so it has been one of the most seen movies on that in Brazil. So I'm so glad that things are moving on the path that we want to be. For the time that we are waiting over here in US for this Astro City, I just want to remind, if you have not seen Allan Kardec on Netflix, is still out there. We can still see it. Have you guys seen? No? Oh, so
I don't think I knew that he's on Netflix.
oh, let me show you a brief. It's just a trailer. Let's see if it's gonna. It's the
all over Paris. People everywhere are going mad over this table phenomenon.
Despair in this darkened world. That alone could explain this belief in otherworldly spirits.
Let's put an end to this farce.
They're here. They're all around us. I can't tell the dead voices from the real ones. Even people I can see and talk to, I'm not sure.
Well, to do that, I need a method. A rational scientific study based on facts. I put forward the same question to different mediums. If the answer I received was the same, then we would have to assume the answer came from one singular origin. The world is moving toward a revolution, one that will define our lives to come. I give you the Spirit's book.
A toast.
Allan Kardec.
Those aren't the words of the man I married.
Unshakable faith is that which is capable of facing reason without fear. That is the simple truth.
So this is, let me see if I
give
can come back to,
define
I can make a comment on this.
Yes.
I've watched Kardec on YouTube, the whole movie, and it's mostly, I don't remember whether it was English or Spanish or French. Because, well, I don't remember. Anyway, it was interesting. It was well done. And the only difficulty was Paris looked like a clean city. And that, of course, is not the way it was at all.
yeah.
Starting with horse dung up and down the streets everywhere else, not to mention the slops thrown out of the windows by regular humans. So, and the blue sky and clear atmosphere, totally wrong. Not like that at all. But the movie did indeed go through the various stages and was very much worth watching. It didn't improve your knowledge of history any, but and the thing they never mentioned is that spiritualism was banned, shunned, and spiritualist mediums were burned and murdered by the Catholic Church up till 1850. And that's when they stopped. So Allan Kardec was 3 years after that. So there was considerable risk in doing what he did, because the church was killing people for being mediums. And the law changed in 1850. At last they had to stop and keep their mouths shut about mediums, which of course we know how well that works. Here we are in America 150 years later, or is it, 170 years later, and they're still at it. It's like nothing's changed. Anyway, it's changed in Paris. Oh, sorry, that was a long speech. I didn't mean that. It's well worth watching, and it's nice fill into the history. And you, Ana Castro, made a very good choice in following that spirits book, because in my opinion, 9 out of 10 are perfectly applicable to today. I'd say more, but there's 1 in 10 which things have changed, things have got better. So the answers are no longer what they would be today. So they are not worth wasting time on, and you can tell pretty quickly what they are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was it. So congratulations again, Anna, for a good choice.
Thank you, Jaya. So, yeah, and thank you for talking about the movie. There are so many things on that. As a matter of fact, the Brazilians, because they know the entire life, Allan Kardec's life, they think the movie was not so
representative is the word you're looking for.
Yes, I think there's so many other facts and troubles and things that Kardec had to deal with. But, you know, I guess it's a good starting point for the movie. There are so many aspects and signs in the movie that if you do not know Kardec's life, or if you have not read the book, you will not understand, but that's okay. It doesn't make any difference at the end of the day. But I do recommend, after watching the video, if you want to know more, there are more facts, there are more things about Kardec's life that will help to understand the whole work, his whole work and the books. So, for example, I stop right here when he is talking to some of the doctors and, you know, important figures at that time. he put this. Do you know what that is on the blackboard?
I assume it's a chemical, but I can't see it. So, but I can
No.
just, I don't know. I can't
No.
see.
Okay, so over here is just a branch, like a vine, grapevine. It's a grapevine with the grapefruit hanging in there.
I definitely
Maybe
can't.
it's not so very well, you cannot see very well, but I know because I can recognize that. That was, let me see what I have over here. I don't have the book here with me, but that is one thing. There is like a little drawing that the Spirit of Truth told Kardec to put in the books. So all the books, look, is that any of Kardec's books. So the Spiritist book, the Gospel According to Spiritism, all Kardec's books will have that grapevine with the grape hanging in there. The Spirit of Truth told him to use that in the books because that is the reference to the tree of life. Remember the tree of life? So not too many people know that, but it is in the movie. And if you may see there, or you may not even pay attention to, or you may even look and read the book and see that, but have no idea why is that. It's a reference to the tree of life, meaning all those things, the very first prophets talking about the tree of life. Who is the trunk? Who is the, who is the root, and etc., etc., etc. So it's all along, it's all part of the same plan, divine plan. So things like this, small, things like this. But I do recommend you, Carol, to try and watch it. It's a perfect movie for today, like it's raining.
Yeah, I just finished watching School Spirits.
Oh,
that was
nice.
recommended by Sheila Lowe in our automatic writing group. And it's one season, but I think it's 6 episodes. And I found it pretty interesting. I mean, I definitely wanted to finish it. And then my cousin texted me and she said, "We need to talk about this when you have time."
That's nice. This is a nice movie to watch. So take your popcorn and chew, and especially now that you have seen some of the Spiritist books, so you will know a lot of things, and plus the history, like things, facts that happened, like Giles was mentioning, the church burning some books, etc., etc. Very nice to see that. And for the ones who knows and enjoyed, The Chosen, the season 4 is coming in February. I guess it's February the 1st. I do not know, but if you have not seen this, it's on Netflix, I think 2 seasons. The other seasons you can find very easy. And very nice. I personally love the series. I love the type of work they're putting together. It's a lot of work, and I remember that I was so happy to see that finally among us, in between so many other things, among so many other things, everybody's talking about lots of stuff except for a loving man, except for what they are talking about in this series. And to my, not my surprise, because I know the higher beings, they can do it, is in their plans, and everything is under their control. But I was so happy just that this series has been an amazing success everywhere it goes. In Brazil, it was like all the movie theaters, they were packed, and everybody is just watching the series more than one time and discussing and talking about it. The youth, then, and not realizing when there's an interview with some of the teenagers and young fellows, and they're, oh, is this what Jesus and the apostles, is that what it was about? That's so cool, because they didn't realize the image that they had was just that serious man, very authoritarian type of in reality, when you see it is exactly, I think probably it was, but anyway. But so if you enjoy, just take a look. So next time we'll be talking about missionary of light, I hope next Saturday. And we are still talking about moral perfection. It is the very last law. And last time we were talking about this question: besides the obvious faults and vices, what is the most character? And the answer was, what was the answer? Come on, computer. Self-interest, right? So, and selfishness is probably, it is actually, that's what the spirits say. There is the major problems of the humanity, pride and selfishness. So it is the answer of question 895. And the next question for us is actually two questions. It is wrong people do good in the hope that they will be rewarded in the next life, like Gloria was doing in her fundraising, and that their situation will be better there for having done it. Will such an act have unfavorable consequences on their advancement? And the second question is, it is completely natural to want to advance, to be free from this painful life. I guess everybody will. It is not so easy. May not be painful, but is it? It's something that is not.
I have something to say on this, of course, is if you couldn't guess. That is that intention is what is behind this. This first part of your question is saying, what is your intention? Well, you can do good with evil intentions, with selfish intentions. Sorry, evil doesn't exist separate from selfishness. So it's intention, as always. I mean, there's the thinking, and then the words, and then the actions. And the thinking is the first thing. Do you think good things or bad things? And that's where the intentions are formed. What are your intentions when you are acting, when you are speaking? What is your intention? Do you wish to hurt people, or do you wish to help people? The two H's, which are kind of different. And so it's always this. So is it wrong if people do good in the hope that they'll be rewarded in the next life? No, of course it's not wrong. Will they be doing good? What's their intention of doing the good? Do they try to harm somebody that's not in the room by doing good to somebody who is in the room? You never know. You cannot make guesses about it. And the same thing, to want to advance to be free from this painful life. Well, yes, but we voluntarily choose to come here. Why? Because we get bored in the afterlife, because nothing happens. Nothing can happen. You can work your ass off in social work, but at a certain point you'll get bored and you say, enough of this already. There's plenty more where that comes from. I'm going to go and have another incarnation. And all your friends will throw up their hands in horror and say, no, you can't. Don't do that. And you say, all right, and you forget about it. But 100 years later, you come back and say, well, I'm still bored. No, I'm going to have an incarnation this time. So there's your reason. The spirits tell us to do good to reach this end. Well, that doesn't really make any sense, because clearly, if you are positive and helpful, even if and your intentions are good, even if the effect of what you do doesn't work out and it happens to be bad, oh, you made a mistake, but your intention was good, so there's no blame in that. It's karma falling on the other person that deserved it, that will be the result of your good intentions not working out properly. Anyway, as you can see, I'm a firm believer in karma, and well, that's probably enough.
Thank you, Giles. As a matter of fact, brings us back to the thing that we were talking about, the year 2024. I do not know about you guys, but I have the impression that the more we advance in time, the faster we face the consequences. So sometimes people are thinking about doing something good for the afterlife or just waiting on the afterlife. But whatever good or bad we do here and now, see us facing the consequences of it faster, or you don't need to wait too long, you know, you do not need to wait until you die in transition or the next. It is happening now. So a good example was what Gloria said about the fundraising program, and it is happening now. I guess it is one of the signs that they say we are in fact living in a regeneration world, because whatever that is, you will not have to wait for too long. And I agree with you, Giles. It has a lot to do with the intentions. As a matter of fact, yesterday in the Spiritist Center, we were preparing ourselves for this irradiation. And before the irradiation prayers, we read a message from the Gospel according to Spiritism. And the topic was about wealth and whether or not it was a wrong thing to hold a lot of money, or for example, save a lot of money with the intention of passing that money later on after you transition, passing that money later on to your offsprings. And the Spirit's message was, there's nothing really wrong with that, as long as if the opportunity comes and you take action to give up on that wealth, like showing that you do not have any attachment to the materialistic idea of the money, you do. And when people will need that wealth resource more than you do not just save the money to you and your family, because that is selfishness. You see what I'm saying? So, no, there is nothing wrong. You know, you have the responsibility for your sons and daughters, but they can take care of themselves. If we were able to take care of you, they can take care of yourself. But it is okay there's nothing really wrong about leaving some money for your kids, as long as you have that clear, you are not doing this for yourself, for your own interest. And then that's why they mention, so for example, if an opportunity comes along, somebody really needs that money badly, say if that person doesn't have the, it will die, if doesn't do if something like this, then it's willing to give up on that money for a good cause, then this is the ultimate goal, is to show that you do not need to show anything, but it's just to prove that you were not attached to this to the money just because, to the wealth just because. So the answer to the question, oh, sorry, somebody said something? No? So the answer to the question, the first question is, yeah, you should do good for the sake of charity, meaning no interest, right? So as long as we do whatever we do without self-interest, like Giles was saying, as a matter of fact, is the answer for the question 897. And then it follows the question 897A, of course not, but those who do good impulsively, simply for the sake of pleasing God and providing relief to their suffering neighbors, have already reached a higher degree of advancement and are closer to reaching ultimate happiness than their brothers and sisters who, being more selfish, do good in hopes of receiving a reward instead of being compelled by the goodness of their own hearts. So I guess when I read things like this, I guess it's like comparing Mother Teresa with me, for example. Yes, it is exactly like that. So the next question is, should a distinction be made between the good we do for our neighbors and the effort we put forward to correct our own faults? I think this is a very interesting question. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Well, you've got my answer there already.
There is no difference?
No. The good we do for our neighbors and the effort we put forward to correct our own faults. What is the effort we put forward to correct our own faults? To act kindly. Now, we try and think kindly and we make sure that our words are kind, but it's much easier to control our acts because they are much the strongest of them. Gloria, I'm talking too much, and you have very many interesting things to say.
I was just, what comes up for me when I read this is Jesus's directive. What was the message he came here? He said, love one another. Mm-hmm. So I think that even if we can't get our own act together, as long as we love our neighbor, that should be a priority. I think I should work on myself, and the directive is love one another. Mm-hmm. And I guess we're included in that. I'm still working through this. Because, the directive is the first thing that came up for me. Should a distinction be made between the good we do for our neighbors? Well, that's the directive, love them, and the effort we put forward to correct our own faults. Yeah, and work on yourself while you're at it. So I would say the first is more important than the second.
Yeah, I think I understand, and I like what you say, because as we do work and help our neighbors, we kind of forget about ourselves and our own troubles. And as we do, then we are learning. I mean, it's less selfish, I think, right? Carol, please.
So I think it's easier to do good for our neighbors than to correct ourselves all the time, because there's always going to be something to correct in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you'll never reach perfection. So that's an ongoing thing, you know? But
Yes.
so
Gloria, Carol, I'm sorry, that's really depressing what you say. We never reach perfection.
That's-
I totally disagree. Give me a few thousand years and I'll be as close to perfect as you can. But
well,
I need a few thousand more incarnations, all right? It's not going to happen overnight. But don't take away the possibility that I will reach perfection.
God be with you on that, Giles.
Well, I have to remind you all that we are immortal beings and we are surrounded by infinity and we have eternity in which to explore it.
I
There,
didn't hear anything about perfection in that sentence.
well, we have eternity and immortality. So obviously perfection's in there because we're moving on.
It's not
Anyway.
Yeah.
in my
Eventually,
opinion, perfection in ourselves is just not achievable, but you got to try.
Well, wait a
yeah.
minute. Are you saying God makes imperfect beings?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, then.
No,
There
Giles,
we are.
there's a
Don't tell
difference
me I can't.
between, there's a
Don't tell me
difference
I can't
between
be
the person
perfect. Of
behavior.
course I can be perfect.
No, I don't think it, no, I'm on Carol's side. We're perfectly human, which means our behavior isn't always the best.
Yes, but you're buying into the Christian story instead of the spiritual story, which is eternal life as spirit. Now, don't tell me, or do tell me if you want to, that spirits are made imperfect. Spirits grow and change, and they learn how to behave better and better, and they grow. So
We're
anyway,
we're talking about our life on this earth right
okay, no,
Yeah.
fair enough. One life, no
actually.
way.
That's how I got
No
it.
way.
Yeah, that's how
No,
I was
I need
understanding
1,000
you
more
guys.
lifetimes.
That's how I understand what you guys were talking about, because it is one of the things, the very first things that Peter and Paul say it is perfection and union with our creator is our ultimate goal. So, but I understand it's not for the here and now. Yeah. So it's not
No,
perfection.
give me a few billion years and then you'll see.
We'll be there.
We'll still be there, yep. But who knows? We might have grouped together.
Will.
Anyway,
Yes.
listen,
will.
I have to go. It's my wife is behind me.
Mhm.
You can't see her, but I know she's there. So,
See you,
bye,
Giles.
folks.
Have a
Bye.
good
Thank
week.
you very much once again.
Bye.
It's always a pleasure.
See you next Saturday. Bye. So I will read this answer over here. By no. So there is should distinction be made between the good we do for our neighbors and the effort we put forward to correct our own faults? No. By doing good, really mean being charitable. Those who count in every charitable deed they do, how much they will be rewarded in this life or the next, act selfishly. However, there is no selfishness moving one's self in the hope of getting closer to God, which is everyone's goal. So, but even though, I guess I agree with you guys, because I just don't see it. I mean, like Giles used to say, doesn't fit all, but I just don't see how just how I can improve myself without putting effort in helping others. I cannot dissociate the idea of these two things anyway. So, guys, I think it's what, 4:10 here in Houston. I stop now, but hopefully next Saturday we'll see everybody back, and Hyacinth and Lori. So for the meantime, I will ask you to keep them in your prayers. Okay.
For sure.
Healing. Yes.
See you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Anna.
Have
Good
a
to see
great.
you, Gloria. I'll
Good to
see
see
you
you
tomorrow
too,
on
girl.
Global Gathering. On GG.
See you. Bye.